Yeah, yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rebel, busy man, shit, nigga. They take their head over, nigga. Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no hoe lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, oh they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Be Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert. Another cop can stretch the nigga. He a demon, this that exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. Who took that open blood, do you know I'm gonna get active with you? From the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers can they spin, I ain't listening. Is it effective? If revenge was a woman, now I scope that bitch like Jackie. We gonna run the summer. It's gonna be historical. All they making plays made them niggas call the audible. As who run this shit, but their question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers. Hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do that. Bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas. Pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young babe. How you real trigger know them dots? You a bird feeder. Claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? What he saying something, I ain't hear him. This shit like it ain't all who got this gun. It's all who gon' up that fight first. I turn a bad situation to a gang change. Bring soldiers from the dead. Just raised up the chain. Free shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you. You'll never get that hand back. Bitch about 10%. I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him. Just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody won't be Richard Porter. God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. A certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, out with that hollow sign. Yeah, this the rim McCoy. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my brain, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
All right. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. All right, it's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. It is Monday, the history class, where we break it down line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little, using external references to back up and support what is biblically internally in the Bible. All right. So, we back to back with pagan holidays. Last week, we talked about the origins of Christmas. Dealing with Mithra, the Yule log, Saint Nicholas. What was the other one I said? Krampus, Saturnalia. You understand? And everything that it had to do with, right? So 1 week is Christmas, and then 1 week is the supposed New Year, right? But as you will find out, us going through this class, that New Year's is and has always been in spring. How can things be anew and things are in the dead of winter, right? I sent you guys a couple of links. We're gonna use the first link, the one from the Encyclopedia Britannica. Let me go there with you. Yeah, the first link I sent you, the one from the Encyclopedia Britannica. And we're gonna break down the origins of New Year. While we doing that, somebody hold Exodus 12 and 1 for me. Somebody, that same person, we'll just flip to the next page, which would be the next chapter. In Exodus 13, I'm gonna go there with you. Whoever, Sapar, if you wanna, since he got the scriptures, if you wanna read the Encyclopedia Britannica, we can go ahead and get started. Pull the link. You can just start reading from the link from the Encyclopedia Britannica.
The Encyclopedia Britannica.
Mm-hmm.
Why does New Year's start on January 1st?
That is an excellent question, right? And like I said, all last class, right? You should question all things, right? Even biblically, like if you don't understand something and you just doing it because it's something that you just done your entire life, and you've never known the origins of it, you should question it. Like, why do I do this? Or ask your parents, why do we do this? Why do we celebrate this? Right? 9 times out of 10, they're gonna say, "Oh, it's just family tradition, baby." I was like, "Well, where did the family tradition come from?" You know what I'm saying? What is the purpose of it? What are our ties to this celebration? So in all things, you have to question everything. The scripture says that you are supposed to question every spirit. You understand? So that should be you should be like a baby. Babies be like, why, or what. You know what I'm saying? Or how. Though you should always have that type of inquisitive mind with anything that you do religiously. And these pagan holidays that we follow is something that is a religious annual tradition of men. Right? We about to get into it. Go ahead, Sapar.
Kadamwakan. In many countries, the New Year begins on January 1st.
The what?
The New Year's begin on January 1st.
Mm-hmm.
However, this wasn't always the case.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, for centuries, other dates marked the start of the calendar, including March 25th.
Including when?
Including March 25th.
Including when?
Including March 25th.
Give me what you got, Sawaya, in Exodus 12. You're going to read verses 1 and 2, and then we're going to jump to 13, 3 and 4.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt,
Mm-hmm.
saying, verse 2, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you.
It shall be what?
The first month of the year to you.
Now let's find out what the name of that first month is. Go to Exodus 13 and read 3 and 4.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 13, verse 3. And Moses said unto the people, remember this day in which ye came out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage. For by the strength of hand the Lord brought you out from this place. There shall no leavened bread be eaten. Verse 4. This day came ye out in the month of Abib.
The month of what?
Abib.
You know what I'm saying? So the name of the first month is the month of Abib, right? Which means an ear of corn. And I'm reading from the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. It means a ear or green ear of corn. A pre-excellent name for the first month of the year. After the exile, the name of this month was changed to Nisan. It fell about the time of our March and early April, right? So since antiquity, the beginning of the year has always been late March, early April. You understand? It was never in the dead of winter. How can you say it's a new year and things are still dead? Right? So when people talk about, well, Happy New Year, the first thing you should ask them, well, are you a so-called Christian? Do you believe in the Bible? They be like, yeah. And you ask them, well, when is the new year? And they say, well, in January, of course. I was like, does it say that in the Bible? You know what I'm saying? And 9 times out of 10, they're going to be like, well, of course it does. And I was like, well, what if I showed you that the beginning of the year is not in January? Would you continue to celebrate it? That's the question that you have to ask if you're a quote unquote Christian. All right, let's get back to it, Sapar.
Come on, sir. And December 25th. It's like, so how did January 1st become New Year's Day?
Mm-hmm.
We can partly thank the Roman king Numa Pompilius, according to tradition.
Pompilius.
It's like a Pompilius, according to tradition. During his reign, c. 715 to 673 BCE, Numa revised the Roman Republican calendar so that January replaced March as the first month.
Say that one more time.
Kanawakan. Numa revised the Roman Republican calendar so that January replaced March as the first day of the month. It was a fitting choice since January was named after Janus, the Roman god of all beginnings. March celebrated Mars, the god of war. Some sources claim that Numa also created the month of January. However, there is evidence that January 1st was not made the official start of the Roman calendar until 153 BCE.
Okay, all right. So now that we got that understanding, all right. So for those of us that didn't grow up in the truth our entire lives, when do they say Happy New Year? Anybody? Go ahead, Swaji.
At midnight on January 1st.
At midnight? So they say Happy New Year at midnight. What does midnight represent?
The next day?
The next day? Now, is that biblical?
Lie.
So according to the Bible, when does the next day start?
When the sun come up.
Not when the sun comes up.
Sundown.
Right, at sundown. All right. So let's get that. All right. So let's go to Genesis chapter 1, verse 5. And then somebody else hold Leviticus 23 and 32. And then we're going to do one more scripture after that.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 5. And Yahweh called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day.
Did he say the morning and the evening was the first day?
And the evening and the morning were the first day.
Because, all right, so, and this is also how you know when the day ends and when the day begins, right? If you were in agriculture, right, would you get up would you get up and work in the field or work with the animals when the sun is down or when the sun is up? That is incorrect. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
It's like when the sun is down, because the early shift, the sun is not up.
Right. So, and you know this, right? Because what is the first and most important meal of the day? Breakfast, right? But the word breakfast is 2 words: break, fast, right? You're fasting because when you get up in the morning, you understand, most people in agriculture, they get up at twilight, right? So they getting up at 4:30 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning. That's when their day starts. You understand? That's actually when your day is supposed to start. You're supposed to get up at 4:30 in the morning, and you're supposed to be in bed when the sun goes down, like 8, 9 o'clock. That's how you're supposed to operate. Right. You know what I'm saying? But you know, the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand? They got us all out of whack. You know, they have you thinking midnight is the beginning of the day when it's actually when the sun sets and when the sun goes down, right? Because if we drop a little further down, drop down to verse 8 in Genesis. Oh, is it 8? Hold on, let me see where I want to go.
Yeah.
No. Drop down to 14.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 14. And Yahweh said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night. And let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years.
All right. So, and then that's the next thing. All right. So the next thing is that we live under a giant clock. You understand? The sun and the moon are for the days, and the stars are for the months and the annual and the years. All right. It was never so when we never had a physical day-to-day calendar. You know what I'm saying? Your days and your months went by the lunar cycle. The moon, the sun is how you kept track of the days. The moon is how you kept track of the months, and the celestial bodies let you know what month you were in. All right. That is always how it's been. All right. Now we're under this Gregorian calendar. You don't know what time you're in. You understand? Now watch this. Hey Siri, what year is it in Ethiopia? No, that's not right. Let me ask my boy. Hold on. Where we at? Check. Let me go to Google. Let's see. What year is it in Ethiopia? What year is it in the Ethiopian calendar? All right, so today in the Ethiopian calendar, it's not 2024, it's 2016. You understand? So they don't have leap years, they don't have daylight savings times, you understand? And they follow the year how it's supposed to be followed. And I believe in their calendar, I believe it's 13 months, how it's supposed to be. You understand? So the time that they have you thinking that you're in, you're not really in. You understand? The rest of the world, like even the Asians, they had like, let's see. What year is it? According to the Chinese calendar. See, they on some whole other time. So like in the Chinese calendar, it's 4722. You know what I'm saying? In the year of the dragon. You know what I'm saying? So it's like everybody follows a lunar cycle. You understand? So the times that they have created is to throw you off, so you don't know the signs of the time. You don't know what's coming. You understand? And it's crazy. Ethiopia is in 2016 and we in 2024. And we've all been talking about how time has felt like it's been speeding up, right? It's because they created time. You understand? The time frame that they created is not matching up with the lunar cycle. It's not matching up with the sun's rotation. You know, and I looked at an article the other day. It's saying that we're not even at a full 24 hours. It's like a couple of milliseconds off. It's like 23, 22 hours now, if you're going by old times. So we've actually lost time. You understand? So if they're constantly reinventing things, the Lord made it to where the evening and the morning is how you knew when it was the first day. And he made it to where you lived on the clock. When the sun set, you knew the day was over. We all going to the house. You understand? But they got you working past when the sun goes down. You understand? Because if you started your day at 4:30, so let's see, let's just say 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So by noon, that's 8 hours. You would be headed home from work at noon. Now imagine what you could get accomplished if you was off work every day at noon. You understand? Like you would actually be able to you at home before your kids get out of school. So you would actually be able to get home. Let's say, okay, it take you an hour to get home, you know, traffic or whatever. You be home by 1 o'clock. The kids don't get out of school till 2, 3. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take the buses, 30 minutes to 45 minutes to get them home. You get 2 hours to rest and relax. They come home. You get their homework done and all of that stuff. You done with that by 4 or 5. You relaxing 6, 8, 9. You chilling. In the bed by no later than 10. You up ready to do it again. If our lives moved and functioned with the calendar the Lord gave us, we'd be a lot better. The reason why you feel so depressed, so drained, so sleep deprived, you understand, you feel like a walking zombie every time when you get up, is because you're out of synchronicity with the Lord's design. And this is how they made us be, because it's just like the curses in the Bible. You won't know if you coming or going. You understand? Matter of fact, give me that. Go to Deuteronomy. Go to Deuteronomy 28. I think that's at like 64. Hold on. 28. Let's see. 28, 60. There you go. Drop down to 68 and 66. This is one of the curses for not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Yes, Deuteronomy 28 and 66. What did I say? Slack it. Yeah.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 66.
Mm-hmm.
And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life.
Every Black, Hispanic, and Native American, we working from check to check, month to month. You understand? You in oppression, you understand, not only on your job, not only in life, but shoot, when you get home, because what your lady want to do? I want to go out for New Year's. Where the New Year's Eve party at? I want to pop bottles. I want a section. Now a section gonna cost you at least what? A minimum of $400. Minimum. And that ain't at no A-list club. That's on something minute. You're gonna pay $400. All right. And it's gonna come with a 2-bottle minimum. You understand? So that's gonna put you at another $300. You know, especially if you drinking what I drink. If you drinking Reposado, you know, it's drinking that tequila. It's $150 a bottle. You understand? So you didn't spend $600. And when that ball drop, guess what? Rent due. You didn't spend half of your rent money. You don't got no assurance of life. Keep reading. Verse 67.
In the morning thou shalt say, with Yahweh it were even.
Mm-hmm.
And at even thou shalt say, with Yahweh it were morning.
Mm-hmm.
For the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see.
You won't know if you coming or going. That's how it is. That's a state and the condition of every Black, Hispanic, and Native American in America right now, scattered across the world. You swear you just laid your head down to go to sleep and that alarm clock go off. You understand? You go to work, it's dark outside. You get off work, it's dark outside. You don't know if you coming or going. You don't know when you driving if you looking at the sunset or the sunrise, because you have no assurance of life. But it's not supposed to be like that. You understand? You supposed to get up at twilight at 4:30, 5 in the morning. You supposed to work until 8. You understand? Have a break fast. You understand? Eat, nourish your body. That's supposed to be the most important meal of the day because you've been working. But you get up and eat and stuff your face and you ain't done nothing. Your body's still in rest mode. You got to give your body time to ease into the day. You understand? It's just like any machine. You don't just turn the computer on and get to cranking. When you hit the computer on, guess what the computer got to do? It got to warm up. You understand? Same thing when you work out. You don't just get out there and stretch. If you stretch cold muscles, what's going to happen? You're going to pull something. You got to warm up. You understand? Same thing with your body. You feel me? And we just calculated 4:30. If you up at 4:30, or even if you at work at 5, you're going to get off at noon or 1 o'clock. That's amazing. You got a whole day to accomplish your goals. Let's say if you go on a business that you want to run and get up off the ground, you got a whole nother 8 hours that you can work another job, your own business. The reason why the hours are set the way that they're set is so that you're in a perpetual state of servitude and you can never get anything that you want off of the ground. But Happy New Year. You know, new goals, new you know what I'm saying? But you still doing the same old, same old. All right, back on you, Sapar. No, oh yeah, Leviticus, the water. Appreciate you. And then give me Sawaya, give me John 20 and 19. So we going Leviticus 23 and 32. Go ahead and pull it. Leviticus 23 and 32. Uh-huh.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 32.
Mm-hmm.
It shall be unto you as a Sabbath of rest,
Mm-hmm.
and ye shall afflict your souls in the ninth day of the month at even.
At when?
At even.
At when?
At even.
Uh-huh.
From even unto even
Mm-hmm.
shall ye celebrate your Sabbath.
Hey, Malaki, do me a favor. That second knob, turn it down just a little bit. The second one. There you go. Turn down just a little bit. Perfect. All right. So even in the feast days, right? The feast day, when you start the Sabbath, so let's just say it's Friday. You understand? And it says it's going to be a Sabbath until we know that the Sabbath is on Saturday. The Sabbath starts when the sun goes down. And you see it said from even to even. When they say Happy New Year is when the ball drops at midnight. That is not the beginning of the day. You understand? You supposed to be already in bed sleep. You understand? Because we already in the next day. All right. And then give me John 20 and 19. Go there with you. When you got to go ahead and read it. John 20 and 19.
This book of John, chapter 20 and verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
Then the same day at evening.
At when?
Then the same day at evening.
Mm-hmm.
Being the first day of the week.
Now, did it say that same day in the morning begin the first day of the week? When did it say the first day of the week began?
Same day at evening.
Keep going.
Being the first day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
When the doors were shut, where disciples were assembled for fear of the Jews.
That's all we need, right? So you have 3 scriptures that lets you know when the new day begins, right? So what we're doing is we're showing you the fallacy of the feast or the celebration of Janus, right? Which is talking about going through the door and when New Year's is. So we already know that it's a lie that New Year's is not in January, it's in spring, right? And we know that the new day doesn't begin in the morning, it begins in the evening. So that's 2 lies right there. All right, let's go back to the article in the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Kanamakan. 3rd chapter in the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Mm-hmm.
In 46 BCE, Julius Caesar introduced more changes through the Julian calendar.
Mm-hmm.
As it became known, retained January 1st as the year's opening date. With the expansion of the Roman Empire, the use of the Julian calendar also spread. However, the following of the fall of Rome in the 5th century CE, many Christian countries altered the calendar so that it was more reflective of their religion.
Mm-hmm.
And March 25th.
So wait. So the Christians did what?
The Christians altered the calendar so that it was more reflective of their religion.
So now, did they follow the calendar that the Lord gave us in the Bible? Or I'm sorry, back then it was the Torah, the Tanakh, and the Apocrypha text, right? Did they follow the calendar that was given by us in the Bible, or did they adopt the wrong calendar that was given to us by our oppressors? That's a question. Anybody? Go ahead.
They adopt the calendar that was given to us by the oppressors.
So this lets you know that Christianity does not follow the Bible. You understand? Like, if that was the case, like we would have our own dates and times. We would be in a time frame that's more like the Ethiopians. You understand? Like, we would be in 2016 if we're following the months that we're supposed to follow. You understand? But instead, they decided to be in line with their oppressor. The United States of America is an extension of the Roman Empire. We still keep the same Julian calendar. It still got the same name of the same months from the Roman Empire. That lets you know what power we're under. I mean, the dollar bill got the Roman eagle on it. Go ahead.
And so, like this, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the structure of the American government, I believe like this is the only country that has a Senate. Like most of the other countries is like the parliamentary system.
And where does the Senate come from?
The Senate come from Rome, the Roman Republic.
Right. You had your hand up? Okay. So these are the things like I say this all the time. You have to take the rose-colored lenses off. Yeah, I know when you in your section, you turning up, you popping bottles of champagne. It seems fun, but why are you doing it on this day? What is the purpose for it? You understand? You have to ask the question why. If you're not posing these questions 9 times out of 10, you're going to be living a lie. Right? And everybody says, well, I'm a Christian, but you're still following the Roman gods because your calendar is based off of Roman gods and Roman emperors. All right? Keep reading, Sapar.
Kanawakan. Reflective of their religion.
Mm-hmm.
And March 25th, the Feast of Annucation.
Mm-hmm.
And December 25th, Christmas, became common New Year's days.
Mm-hmm.
It later became clear that the Julian calendar required additional changes.
It required what?
Required additional changes.
It required what?
Additional changes.
Mm-hmm.
Due to the miscalculation.
Due to what?
Due to a miscalculation.
Now, if we was following God's calendar, would there ever be a miscalculation?
Lie.
Because the moon cycle follows the same cycle. You understand? Yeah, it goes from new moon to waning and waxing crescent to a full moon every month. You wouldn't have to worry about doing what it's about to say. What did it say they have to do to recalibrate support?
To recalibrate the calendar?
Yeah.
It later became clear that the Julian calendar required additional changes due to miscalculation concerning leap years.
Concerning what?
Leap years.
Concerning what?
Leap years.
What the hell is a leap year? Somebody look that up. Look up the definition of what a leap year is. Somebody look that up. What is a leap year? Like what? We just jump over a year? You understand?
So like, isn't that the leap year is a year where it's in December where it got that slash in the day? Like
we about to find out. I think you're right. Go ahead. Go ahead, Sawadi.
It says a leap year is a calendar year that contains an additional day compared to a common year.
Say that one. It contains a what?
An additional day compared to a common year.
Keep reading.
The 366th day is added to keep the calendar year synchronized with the astronomical year or seasonal year.
See, this is the issue, right? You wouldn't ever have to worry about that if you were following the year like it was supposed to be by following the lunar cycle. It wouldn't matter if there's an extra day, right? Because they would say, hey, Malakia, I'm going to see you in a fortnight. Look up what a fortnight is. Not the game. Look up. What is a fortnight in the lunar cycle? Look up that, because you look up fortnight, it's going to bring up a game. Go ahead.
Fortnight. A period of 2 weeks.
A period of what?
2 weeks.
You understand? So we would say things like that because it would be based off of the lunar cycle. You understand? We didn't go based off of days in the week. You understand? We would say because the new day was always based off of the evening. You understand? And if we were following that cycle as such, you would never have to concern yourself with a leap year because you would always be on because you're following the cycle of the moon. You know, like if I told Malaki, hey, I'm gonna see you at the waning crescent, man, you wouldn't know what the hell I'm talking about. You wouldn't even know when that is. You understand? We have to get back to our origins. We have to keep our culture. We live under a huge clock that we don't use. We use the time that they give us. The reason why they have to constantly recalculate is because they're wrong. You can't make up something that God has already created for you to keep. Right? And to show you, I'm glad it said that miscalculation. All right, so what month are we in? We're in December, right? Okay. Does anybody know what December means? It means 10, right? December, the root word in December is deca, right? Which is Latin for 10. And it's crazy is because they put all of this in your face and you don't even recognize it. They're telling you what month it's in. Like if you knew Latin and they telling you the new year is in December, you would be like, how? December is 10. All right. So I'm y'all can use your context clues. So what is November? No, it's 9. Nova is 9 in Latin. You understand? So if Nova is 9, and we already know what oct is because you know geometric shapes. You know what I'm saying? An octagon is what? How many sides? 8. You understand? So if that's 8, that's 9. All right. So what is sept? 7. So we're selling. So even okay, let's just say for the all purpose of the zodiac that we have, the 12 zodiac signs, the astrological bodies, right? If we're in 10, right, that means January is 11, February is 12, and then when is 1? March. So even if you following going based off of 12 zodiacs, you're still wrong. And they're telling you what zodiac we're in. We're in the 10th one. But they're telling you it's the 12th one. This is why they constantly have to recalculate because Deca is 10. We're in the 10th month. So they've removed 2 months out of the year. So let's see. Look up when the when was the Julian calendar created? I think it's in that article. Does it say in that article when the Julian calendar was created? Somebody look that up. What you got, nephew?
It says the Julian calendar was introduced in 45 BC.
45 BC. Okay, so they say it's 2024, right? Okay, so 2024. And you said it was created when?
In 45 BC.
Minus 45. All right. So that's 1,000. That's 1,979 years. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna multiply that by 2. Multiply times 2. All right. That's 3,000. Oh, did I do that right? Yeah, I did that right. So that's 3,958 months that they've taken. Let's see. Let's divide that by 12. So we're missing 329 years from the calendar. So for each of those years since the 45th year, you're off 2 months. So if you've been off for 2 months for 320, you're missing 329 years. So you don't know what time it is. This is why we say that the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. They created a time construct to throw you completely off. So you don't know when the Lord is coming. So you can't discern the times based off of the prophecies. Because they gave there are certain prophecies that line up with astrological bodies. But the way we do it is based off of the condition of the times. Because some of them talk about conditions. But the ones that's lining up with astrological bodies, it's hard for you to do because you don't know what time you're in. Go ahead, Sapar.
And so it's like it's heavy that you said that, because I remember one future prophecy in Revelation, like when Christ returned, that the moon is going to turn blood red, and that can be like a astrological thing.
That's an astrological sign.
Right.
You understand? So you have to know the conditions of the battle in the state of warfare. If you live within the framework of a lie, you're going to continue to perpetuate the lie. You have to, and I hate to use this term because it's so blackety black. You got to step out the matrix, man. You got to wake up and step out of the matrix. You got to take the rose-colored lens off. I know you was having fun popping fireworks the 4th of July. Stop it. What was your people doing July 4th, 1776? Picking cotton and cutting sugar cane. You understand? Getting buck broken, getting tarred and feathered, getting lynched. You know what I'm saying? Getting castrated. That's what your ancestors was doing July 4th, 1776. You didn't have any independence. So why are you celebrating? Every holiday, or should I say unholy day, because a holiday is supposed to be derivative of a holy day. Everything that they deem holy has to do with the mass murder of your people. But you rather celebrate the traditions of men instead of the traditions that the Lord gave you. All right, let's get back to the article.
In 46 BCE, Julius Caesar introduced more changes through the Julian calendar. As it became known, retained January 1st as the year's opening date. With an expansion of the Roman Empire, the use of the Julian calendar also spread. However, following the fall of Rome in the 5th century CE, many Christian countries altered the calendar so that it was more reflective of their religion.
Oh, you step back, drop down, because we was right there where it was talking about leap year.
Oh, so it's like it. Leap years, the cumulative effect of this era over course of several centuries.
Over how many centuries?
Several centuries.
You understand? I just told you you lost 359 years based off of 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Several centuries. That's 3 centuries that's missing. Keep reading.
Cause various events to take place in the wrong season.
Say that again.
The course of several centuries were caused various events to take place in the wrong season.
How can you say it's a new year in the winter when it's supposed to be in spring? Because you telling people it's new year so that in their mind, they supposed to start planting. You understand? They supposed to start getting ready to plant. to grow. But you know, you growing when the ground is dead. Ain't nothing gonna grow in the dead of winter. The ground ain't fertile. It's damp, cold, and frozen. And ain't no sun to give light to it. Keep reading.
It also created problems with determining the date of Easter. Thus, Pope Gregory, Pope Gregory, introduced Pope Gregory 13th introduced a revised calendar in 1582. In addition to solving the issue with leap years, the Georgian calendar, the Gregorian calendar restored January 1st as the start of the new year, while Italy, France, and Spain were among the countries that immediately accepted the new calendar. Protestant and Orthodox nations were slow to adopt it. Great Britain and its American colonies did not begin following the Gregorian calendar until 1752.
All right, so Pete, so nephew, this is what I want you to look up on Google. Look up the difference between ask Google, what is the difference between the Gregorian calendar and the Julian calendar? Look that up for me. What is the difference between the Gregorian calendar and the Julian calendar? What did it say?
So it says the Julian calendar is a 365 days in a 6-hour year. The Gregorian calculations found that 6 hours was too long, so they shortened it to 5 hours and 49 minutes.
Like what? So they're creating a construct of time, right? So like our construct of time was based off of light. So there's dusk, dawn, twilight, sunrise, noon, sunset. That's when we would do it based off of the height of the sun in the day. You have to worry about hours. You understand? When do our I.S.U.K brothers, when do they take a siesta? Does anybody know? What'd you say, sis? Well, but what time of day? In the middle of the day. We taking a 3-hour break. Everybody go home to your families. We taking a 3-hour break in the middle of the day. That's why when like I see it every day. Like when I be going on the construction sites, the taco truck people pull up at 11, and from 11 to about 1, they chilling. You know what I'm saying? They out there chilling in the covering of the garage of the house they constructing. They got music playing. They got some frescas that they done popped off. You know what I'm saying? And they done went and got their beers and put it in the cooler for the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's supposed to be. Like, since you're not going to give us the 3 hours that we supposed to have, we're going to create it in the middle of the day. We're going to have a siesta. And then we'll be back. And we'll do the rest of the work. Because you taking 3 hours from us that we supposed to have with our families. You know what I'm saying? See, they know. They have a zeal and a wisdom is just not according to knowledge. All right? All right, keep reading, Sapar. You stopped at where it says Gregorian calendar. Restored January 1st as a start of the new year.
Gregorian calendar. So like before then, they celebrated New Year's Day on March 25th.
Mm-hmm. No. Back up to where it said, where it has Gregorian calendar highlighted and put restored January 1st.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's like the Gregorian calendar restored January 1st as the start of the new year, while Italy, France and Spain were among the countries that immediately accepted the new calendar. Protestant and Orthodox nations were slow to adopt it.
Were what?
Were slow to adopt it.
So you still had people in the world following the calendar, how it was supposed to be made by watching the sun, the moon, and the stars. The whole world, this is something that the oppressor created. You know what I'm saying? The Greco-Roman Empire, they created. And they tried to force it on the corners of the world that they conquered. It's the same thing today. Everybody does what America tells them to do. If America say it's 2024, guess what? It's 2024. Everybody done it except for, excuse me, except for Ethiopia. I mean, China say it's what they say 4,000 is 4722. It's crazy. Yeah, I looked up what year is it in the Chinese calendar. It said 4722. You know what I'm saying? They well, I mean, when you go over there, I mean, it looked like it's 4722 with all that technology they got. You know what I'm saying? If we keep it in the bean, you know, they got autonomous robots and everything. You know what I'm saying? They got robot dogs patrolling the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like they got I forgot what it's called, like they class system. It's their new credit score, and all the cameras recognize your face. You know what I'm saying? So they able to tell where you are at all times and what you doing. It's like being over there in China is like, anybody remember that movie Minority Report with Tom Cruise back in the day? That's how China is. So I mean, yeah, they are living in 4722. You know what I'm saying? All right. Keep reading, Sapar.
Great Britain and its American colonies did not begin following the Gregorian calendar until 1752. Before then, they celebrated New Year's Day on March 25th.
So even in America, we did not celebrate New Year's in January. We celebrated it in March because this was supposed to be what country? God's country. You understand? But we got in bed with that devil real quick, because when the pilgrims came over here, who taught them how to survive over here? The Native Americans. So they were following the seasons that the Native Americans followed. But when the Puritans came over here and then they went to war with Britain, you understand? And they made that pact with Great Britain, you understand, to make peace and all of that stuff or whatever. They had to follow Britannian law. And Britain took on what calendar? The Greco-Gregorian calendar. All right, keep reading.
Over time, non-Christian countries also began to use the Gregorian calendar. China in 1912 is a notable example. Though it continued to celebrate the Chinese New Year according to the lunar calendar.
According to what calendar?
To a lunar calendar.
According to what calendar?
To a lunar calendar.
So we'd be like, okay, so we can do business with y'all, so we know what time of year, what year y'all in. You know, we'll observe y'all's calendar. But they still keeping their calendar, and their calendar is a what calendar?
Lunar calendar.
So lunar calendar. Like right now, I think let me see what year, what animal year they in. Let me see. In China, what year is it? Animal. Yeah, it's the year of the dragon. Yeah, it's the year of the dragon. Let me see. In China, what animal year is 2025? We going from the year of the dragon to the year of the wooden snake. You know what I'm saying? They keep their traditions. And their tradition is a what?
Lunar calendar.
Because that is how it's always been. That's how they're able to keep up with the signs of the times and how they know what's going on. You be thinking that, that the Chinese and the Buddhist monks, that they all wise and they all knowing. No, they following the calendar, how they supposed to follow it. So they know when things are going to fall. They know when certain asteroids is going to come, because that asteroid comes at the same time, like clockwork, every 200 years on this day. So they notate these astrological events and be like, oh, I mean, it's in the records that it happened this day 300 years ago. Oh, so it's a clock. This meteor is going to pass by, or we're going to have this type of eclipse every such and such amount of time. And it's going to happen like clockwork because we live under a huge clock. That is what the sun, the moon, and the stars was made for. It was for you to keep time. You don't have to have a timepiece. You don't have to have the time on your phone. All you got to do is just look up. Right. But they didn't blot it out the sky with all of these, all of this light pollution. You can't even see the stars. Mm. Like when you go outside, you can barely see Orion's belt. But you go out to a city like Killeen where it's not a lot of light pollution, you look up, you see the heavens. You know what I'm saying? If you ever driving out like if you making a trip between cities, because out there on the highway, they don't have lights along the highway. If you pull over on a side street and look up, you'll be amazed. You'll see the heavens like you've never seen the heavens before, and you'll understand why they say don't be dismayed at the heavens, because it'll be like looking up at a crystal. You'll see lights and stars of the lights that you've never seen before. You'll be able to see Andromeda. Go ahead, what you was about to say, Sapar?
And Salakia had an incident like that, going to Hebrew Academy, and I just have to look in the sky, seeing all type of blues mixed with purples and everything.
Exactly.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So if you really, to be honest, as human beings, we're really blind now. Because there was a time where your pupils were able to see in the dark to a certain extent. Because you was just like the animals out there in the wild. You was able to see what was going on out there because your eyes had to adjust to the lunar light. You understand? And you were able, I'm telling you, like you would be able to see clear. It'll look like amethyst crystal in the sky out there. Right. Purple. You know what I'm saying? You see all type of purples, deep purples, blues, you understand? Tangerines, like it'll blow your mind. Like if you're in Texas, I implore you to go out to the Texas Observatory land. You understand? It's complete pitch black out there, and you can actually see the celestial bodies. It'll blow your mind. All right. Where you stopped at, Sapar? You stopped at
lunar calendar.
No, you was talking about the Chinese New Year. Oh yeah, lunar calendar. Yeah, you're right. Go ahead.
According to the lunar calendar, it's like, in fact, many countries that follow the Gregorian calendar also have other traditional or religious calendars.
Mm-hmm.
Some nations never adopted the Gregorian calendar and thus start the year on dates other than January.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, Ethiopia, for example, celebrates.
What's the number one country they said they didn't adopt it?
Ethiopia.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the first thing that before we even started this class, I asked Siri, I looked up what year is Ethiopia in. You know what year they say it was in? 2016. Like, that's crazy. Keep reading.
For example, celebrates its New Year known as Inkutash in September.
Right. So they follow their own lunar cycle. All right. Okay. Now go. Where's that other one? That other link I sent you, where it says Janus and the ritual of the New Year. All right. So now that you know about the fallacies, now let's find out what you actually celebrating and why he about to pull that. So why do you I want you to hold Galatians 4 and 8. Nephew, hold Romans chapter 1 and 25. All right, go ahead, Sapar.
Janus and the ritual of the New Year.
Mm-hmm.
A Roman god with no Greek counterpart,
Mm-hmm.
Janus was deeply entrenched in the psyche of Rome.
Mm-hmm.
Born long before the Greek pantheon was adopted by the Romans,
Mm-hmm.
strange and ancient Janus was depicted with 2, sometimes 4 faces.
Mm-hmm.
One face is always looking back,
Mm-hmm.
reflecting, analyzing, learning from the past.
Uh-huh.
The other looks forward, eyes filled with hope to the future.
So this is why making New Year's resolutions is such a big deal, right? You know, you're supposed to, and you know, everybody does it. They make they vision boards. You got to make your vision board before January 1st. You know, you got to look at where you are and what you've done, you know what I'm saying, in the current year, and you got to make a prediction and a visualization and a hope for what you want to come in the new year to come. You understand? It is it's directly indicative of the double-faced God, Janus. You know what I'm saying? You got one looking to the past, constantly looking behind you, and then one constantly looking in the future. All right? Keep reading.
More metaphor than God.
Say that one more time.
More metaphor than God.
Mm-hmm.
Janus presided over doors and gates, and more importantly, what they represented, transitions.
All right. Read what you got, Sawayi, in Galatians 4 and 8.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 4, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
Howbeit then, when ye knew not Yahweh, ye did service unto them which by nature are no gods.
Say that one more time.
Howbeit then, when ye knew not Yahweh,
Mm-hmm.
ye did service unto them which by nature are no gods.
You're saying Janus is not a god, and you're following after his rudiments. And the crazy thing is, Christians say that they know God, but what do they have every New Year's Eve? Anybody that used to be in a Christian church, what does a Christian church have every New Year's Eve? Go ahead. Yeah, they had a night watch service. You know what I'm saying? You got the night watch service. You understand? For to bring in the new year, serving the Lord. But how are you serving the Lord, bringing the new year in when he tells you the first month of the year is Abib, and that's either in late March or early April, depending on how the lunar cycle falls. You understand? And look, and I'm gonna tell you how to be thrown off. Like, I downloaded something. It's called a lunar calendar, right? So a lunar calendar, it just shows the different phases of the moon. So what you should do is look at when the month ends and look at what phase of the moon it's on. And I guarantee you, a couple times a year, it's always off. It's always off. This is why they have to constantly recalibrate and do these leap years, right? And I think Nephew said, what did it say the difference is like 6 hours and 5 hours added on. Why would you need 6 or 5 hours added on to every year if the calendar is right? Keep reading, Swadia. You gonna read the verse 10.
Shit.
Verse 9. Galatians chapter 4, verse 9.
But now, after that, ye have known Yahweh, or rather are known of Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
How turn ye again to the weak and beggarly elements, whereunto ye desire again to be in bondage?
So look, so this is the question you got to ask yourself, right? The question you have to ask yourself is, okay, you call yourself a Christian, right? You say you want to serve God and you know better, right? You know that this new year has nothing to do with God whatsoever. So now that you know, do you continue to assimilate into bondage, or do you change? Keep reading, verse 10.
Ye observe days and months and times and years.
Verse 11.
Verse 11. I am afraid of you, lest I have bestowed upon you labor in vain.
You understand? You more concerned about observing days, months, the times, and the years instead of observing what the Lord told you to observe. All right? Give the mic to nephew. Pull what I asked for. What I told you, Romans 1 and 25.
Come on, sir.
All right, hold on, let me go there with you. All right, go ahead.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 25. Who changed the truth of God into a lie?
Say that one more time.
Who changed the truth of God into a lie?
The white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand? None of this happened until the Greeks and the Romans came into power. It had never been like this in the known world that we're following this type of calendar until these Edomites came into power. It was never like that. So who turned the truth of God into a lie? That's what you have to ask yourself. You have to ask yourself, am I going to continue perpetuating the lie, or am I going to live in God's truth? Keep reading, nephew.
And worship and serve the creature more than the creator.
Say that one more time.
And worship and serve the creature more than the creator. Who is blessed forever. Amen.
And that's what you're serving when you celebrate New Year's on January, right? You're celebrating a creature. You understand? You're celebrating something that was created by a creation. It has no life. It is an image. And he directly, explicitly asks you not to bow before any image in heaven above, in the earth below, or in the sea. You are to make no graven images. But when you celebrate New Year's on January, that's literally what you're doing. All right, go back to the article, Sapar. You at the paragraph where it says Ovid describes.
Ovid describes two-headed Janus.
Oh, and why he's doing that? So while you pull Isaiah 33 and 6 and nephew in the Apocrypha, pull Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 24. Go ahead, Sapar.
Ovid describes two-headed Janus, an opener of the softly guided ears. It's a bit of a enigma.
What is an enigma? If anybody, I mean, if you a huge Batman fan, one of the villain's government name was Edward Enigma, and if you know that character's name, if you know that villain's name, you know what an enigma is.
It's a riddle.
It is a riddle, right? Because Edward Enigma in Batman is the Riddler, right? All right, keep reading.
Janus did more than make sure people entered doorways. in ways that he would bring luck. He had a hand in everything. Invoked at the start of every sacrifice.
The start of what?
Invoked at the start of every sacrifice.
Because I'm telling you, every pagan holiday, it got to do with a what?
Sacrifice.
Something got to die. Keep reading.
Purveyor of all that brings again. The father of the year. Beginnings and sacred to the double-faced God. Though he could be found on either side of the threshold.
Keep reading.
An exit is the same as an entrance, depending on which side you view it.
Keep reading.
Time is an
Ouroboros.
Ouroboros. A snake eating its own tail.
Does anybody know what that means? Does anybody know what it means? A snake eating its own tail? Look it up. Look up well, while he's looking it up, look up the meaning of a snake eating its own tail. But give me what you got. What you think it is?
I would say someone causing their own end.
No. No. A snake eating its own tail. What does it say, nephew?
It represents the cycle of destruction and rebirth.
Right. You understand? It's eternity. Right? There's no beginning. There's no end. You understand? When death happens, life begins. Right? Same thing, like prime example, like the same thing you do on a macrocosm level, like you as a human being, you know, your purpose is to be fruitful and multiply, right? So that your wisdom is passed on through the ages. That same thing happens on a microcosm level. It's called osmosis, when your cells split in two. You understand? When a cell splits in two, the original cell does what? It dies. So what's done on a small scale is done on a greater scale. Same thing happens in the universe, right? Stars are born, stars die. You understand? Well, at least that's what they say they do, right? But I don't know about y'all. I mean, they say we've been, you know, the jury's still out on this. You know, they say that we traveling around, we spinning around the sun, and the sun is going, our solar system is going through the universe. But I don't know about y'all. I see the same stars every night, year after year. I don't see no new stars out in the distance. It's the same stars. Just I still see Jupiter, Mars, Uranus, Venus. You understand? Neptune, Saturn. I still see the same stars and the same fixation behind them. And they're in the same position year after year. But yet we supposed to be moving around a huge ball of gas at whatever speed, traveling through the universe at whatever speed. Make it make sense. When it makes more sense, what the book says is what it is. When it says that even in the morning is the first day, that makes sense. When it says that we're supposed to keep time with the sun, the moon, and the stars, everything makes sense. But it's only when you try and make something and make it fit, you got to constantly recalculate. You got to do daylight savings times. You got to have leap years. You understand? We got to switch from different. We got to go from the Julius calendar to the Gregorian calendar. That's when you try and do your own thing instead of follow what the Lord made. All right. Read the scripture I asked for. Isaiah 33:6.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 33, verse 6.
Oh, let me go there with you. All right, go ahead.
And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
The fear of the Lord is what?
Is his treasure.
And if you know, in the book of Proverbs, it says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. You understand? Like, if you fear the Lord, it says that you will have stability in thy times. You don't have to worry about what's going on because you're living like if we went based off of the calendar year and we started planting our crops in January, we wouldn't have no fruit because we would have a waste of seed because you putting seed in the ground when it's still frozen. All right, read what you got in Wisdom of Solomon, nephew. Wisdom of Solomon 2:24. Let me pull that up. I'll get there with you. Wisdom of Solomon 2:24. All right, go forward.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 24. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it.
You understand? So when you hold to the rudiments of this world, let me ask you a question. Can anybody blow my mind? What holidays have the biggest mortality rates?
Halloween.
That's one, but that ain't the biggest. Sis, what you got? Nope. No, it's not Valentine's. 4th of July is one, and what's the other one?
New Year.
New Year's. Right? You understand? Coincidentally, like my wife said, it's the only time when they're supposed to be busting bombs in there. You know what I'm saying? They like, let's get drunk and shoot some stuff. You understand? So when you follow the rudiments of the devil, like the scripture says, nevertheless, through the envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold his side do find it. Every time you like somebody's going to die from drunk driving tomorrow or on Wednesday. Well, tomorrow's New Year's Eve, right? Yeah, so I said it right. Somebody's going to die from drunk driving tomorrow. Somebody's going to die from a stray bullet tomorrow. We're gonna wake up in the morning and we're gonna see a news article of somebody and wrap they drunk behind around the tree. We're gonna see news articles of somebody getting killed by a stray bullet, and then we're gonna see news articles of houses catching on fire from firework displays at the house. People are gonna die because you're following after the rudiments of the devil. This was never meant for you to sell. Where in the Bible does it say for you to bust bombs in the air? Does anybody know where fireworks come from? Nope. They were created and used for war, but where do fireworks come from?
So like I said, fireworks were invented in China.
In China. You understand? So they not even your traditions. They was created by Moab. The retarded people. What is more retarded? Let's explode bombs in the sky. And have like little sparklies come down on our houses. That's made from pitch. You understand? And set pitch and bamboo. and the door is made of rice paper and bamboo. What a great idea. You're not even following after your own culture, after your own traditions. What are you celebrating? Why aren't you asking why? All right, let's get back to the article, Sapar.
Kanawakan. Under his protection were the beginning of the day, the month, and the year. The first month, January, it is named for him. But those are also the end of the previous, a chapter closing, which he looks upon third
All right, keep reading.
The beginning of time period is not the static state, but a transition, a doorway. Janus oversaw all transitions, tangible or not. A step over a threshold, a new year, moon cycles, new schools or jobs, birth and marriage and death, roads that separate the city from the country, the thin, terrible divide between war and peace. Naturally, the Romans had a penchant for doorways, superstitions. As they were traveling, Romans went through ceremonial gateways with intent to bring good fortune to marching armies.
All right. So does anybody? So I give you a couple examples. So in Roman Italy, a really big one is called the Arch de Triomphe. Right. So every time they won a huge campaign, they would build a huge archway that represented basically like a temple for Janus, where you were walking as a portal from the old world into the new world. Coincidentally, and this is how you know that Christianity has nothing to do with the Most High God. You understand? Does anybody know what didn't recently happen in the Vatican? What the Pope recently did?
Yeah.
Anybody? Nobody? Nah, I mean, yeah, that too. But he opened up 5 portals in the Vatican, and it was recorded and streamed live on television. You understand? And all of these 5 portals were 5 specific doors. One of them was supposed to be to Satan's tomb. You know what I'm saying? One of them was a prison. One of them was in St. Peter's Square, and I forgot where the other 2 were. Go ahead.
And so like so it's so heavy that you say that because that's what his title means. The Pontifex Maximus means the great door. In which the cardinals mean the hinges, like his helpers.
This is letting you know that has nothing to do with the Most High or Christ.
Right.
And he's coincidentally opening these doors before the celebration of what? Janus, who's supposed to be the great door.
Right.
All right, keep reading.
Kanamakan, marching armies, traveling merchants.
Hold on, and while he pulling that, so why do you give me Baruch 4:1? Nephew, give me Proverbs 29:2. Go ahead.
Kanamakan, marching armies, traveling merchants, and common folk. Sometimes an image of a key or a very likeness of a god with 2 faces was carved above doorways to remind Romans to walk through doorways with intentions, literally and figuratively, else they might risk bad luck upon their transitions.
Now, what's crazy is it wasn't until I came into the truth until I started noticing this. Like, if you go, like anywhere you go, you should look at the things that are around, right? when you go to a home, when you go to a building, right? Like when you go to like these old buildings in Houston, if you look at it, especially the ones like the law buildings, they'll look like old temples. Like you'll see like the ionic columns with flutes and stuff like that. And when you look over the door, 9 times out of 10, it's a circle over the door, and it has 2 faces that look like this. That lets you know what kingdom that you're in. When I go to River Oaks and I see these old mansions that got this old white marble Romanesque look, you understand? It's the same thing. They have all these random statues. Like people don't just put just random statues in their yard for not. You understand? If you go to a building, like if you go out there in Chinatown, you'll see buildings that have 2 dragon statues sitting at the door. That's not for no reason. You go in somebody's backyard, you see a big bowl that got like machetes and stuff sitting in it by the door. That's not for no reason. You have to pay attention to your surroundings. There are spiritual things that are going on, and you need to be aware of it. When you go to someone's house, they got a reef on it. Pay attention. You need to know what type of spirit you walking into. Keep reading.
So like the practice of a symbol above a doorway is done in many cultures, even today, as a blessing, a reminder, or a welcoming gesture. If this resonates with you, try placing a meaningful symbol or talisman above your front door to greet those who enter your home with good fortune and gentle transitions.
So now you know where y'all right. You understand? So now that's crazy. My wife was talking about the show From. They put the talisman on the door to keep the evil spirits out. You know what I'm saying? So now and then look, and it don't even just be that. You know, you have people that be having the little welcome things above the door, the little happy home, all of this stuff. All of this stuff comes from Greco-Roman practice. All of it. You understand? So you have to be cognizant. Look at the doorways. Even when you like we got some at our door. Check your energy at the door. You understand? You have to know the spirit of the home that you're walking into. Know the spirit of the neighborhood and the community that you're driving into. You have to pay attention to your surroundings. It's crazy. It's like you'll be walking somewhere and you be like, "Hey, bro, something off. I think we need to turn around." You understand? That's because you didn't stepped into a spiritual climate that you're not familiar, and it's not very friendly to you. Go ahead, Sapar.
It's like so that's so heavy that you said that because I remember when I was taking a family vacation and stuff. We stop and get gas. We stop in some town in the hill country. But as soon as I stepped out, I told them, "Y'all go use the restroom and come on back." I put fill this car up and we about to get out of here because these people it didn't feel safe. It feels safer in Sunnyside than it did in the middle of a Texas.
Brother, let me tell you something. Everybody in Houston, Beaumont, and Port Arthur knows if you Black, Hispanic, and Native American, you don't stop in Vidor.
Right.
You understand? And on the opposite side in Louisiana, everybody knows you don't stop in Benton. Them 2 neighboring towns at the border that you don't stop in. Because you know the spirit of the city that you going in and out of. So you got to pay attention to the doors that you going in and out of. You understand? And what's going on tomorrow, that door that all these people are prepping for, all these parties they going to, somebody is going to lose their life. It's unfortunate, but it's an unfortunate fact, and it happens every year. We all gonna wake up Wednesday morning, we gonna scroll on Facebook, we gonna see somebody got into a bad accident, a fight then broke out at some New Year's Eve party, people then got shot. You know what I'm saying? Somebody getting hit by a stray bullet, and then we gonna be laughing at videos of people shooting fireworks and the firework display fall over and then shoot off in somebody's house and set the house on fire. It's because you following after rudiments of death, the devil. And if you seek after it, guess what? You gonna find it. Because his job is to seek, kill, and destroy. Give me what I asked for. Yeah, Baruch 4:1.
In the Apocrypha, this is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of Yahweh and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life.
Say that one more time.
All they that keep it shall come to
You
life.
understand? If you keep the commandments, you're going to find life. You understand? But the opposite of it is death. Matter of fact, give me Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Give me 28 and 1, and then give me 28 and 15. And then we gonna pull that, and then Sapar, we're gonna end it on Deuteronomy 14 and 2. Hold that for me, Sapar.
Is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
Mm-hmm.
to observe and to do all his
You
commandments.
understand? So to hearken means to listen, observe, see means to see, and then you do. You got to be able to know what to do. So you got to hear it. You got to see an example of what to do. So you got to see it, and then you got to execute it. Keep reading.
Which I command thee this day,
Mm-hmm.
that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Right? So if you do these things, you don't got nothing to worry about. You're going to be in a place of rulership, in a place of abundance. Everything going to be peaceable, all good. But the contrary, Deuteronomy 28 and 15.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
If you will not listen,
to observe,
if you will not look upon the right things to do, right?
to do all his commandments,
Nor execute them. Keep reading.
and his statutes,
Mm-hmm.
which I command thee this day,
Mm-hmm.
that all these curses,
All these what? Mm-hmm.
shall come upon thee
Mm-hmm.
and overtake thee.
What does it mean to overtake?
To make captive.
It means to kill you. You understand? The whole purpose of a curse is to take you up off of the face of the earth. You understand? Read what you holding, nephew. Make sure you start bringing your notebook to class.
Said Proverbs 29, 25.
29 and 2. You can start at verse 1.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
He that being often reproved hardened his neck.
Say that one more time.
He that being often reproved hardened his neck
Keep reading.
shall be suddenly destroyed.
Shall be what?
Suddenly destroyed.
So if someone is telling you the right thing to do, like we telling y'all not to celebrate New Year's, not to celebrate Christmas, and you harden your neck, that means that you got a hard head and you stubborn. It says that you're gonna be what, nephew?
Suddenly destroyed.
It says you're gonna be suddenly destroyed. Keep reading.
And that without remedy.
You know what I'm saying? And that means that there will be no salvation for you. Like, it's to the point to where my partners in the world don't even call me for advice no more. Because I tell them, like, bro, like, what you calling me for? You keep calling me over and over, asking me advice about the same things. I tell you what to do, and you do the exact opposite. And then you get mad and shocked at the outcome when I didn't told you. Like, bro, I don't feel bad for you, bro. I don't feel bad that you got 4 kids from 2 baby mamas. You understand? Because you didn't listen, and I told you that you shouldn't be with him in the first place. It's like, hey, man, what you think, bro? You think she cool? Like, nah, bro. I think she bad news. Every time I see y'all arguing. Every time you call me, I hear her cussing you out, calling you everything but a child of God. You calling me to come pick you up because the cops are being called. That's not a healthy relationship. You like, yeah, because my government, they call me Wood because my government last name is Woodward. So they call me Wood or E. Wood. You feel me? So he be like, man, I hear you, Wood, bro. I ain't going to do nothing. Next thing I get a phone call, hey, bro, I'm getting engaged. Stupid. Now you mad, you know what I'm saying, that you in an abusive relationship, you know what I'm saying, and you can't leave now because you already got 1 baby mama that you got 2 kids from that got you on child support, and now you got 1 now. And you know if you leave this one, you don't got no life. Everything that you got coming in is going out. You ain't even going to be able to take care of yourself. You trapped. You know what I'm saying? And it would have never been this way if you would have heeded the counsel. Now, you, what the scriptures say, it is better to dwell on a roof than in the house with a wicked woman. The scripture, the socket, it says a tumultuous woman, a woman that wanna argue and fight all the time. You understand? You don't have no peace, and every time I see him, it's like. It looks like he didn't age drastically because it's like the life, the energy is literally being drained from him day after day because he doesn't have any peace. Because the curse's job is to kill you. And they come in many shapes, in many forms. Keep reading, nephew. Read verse 2.
Verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
You understand? You doing all of this to celebrate the new year just to know if you're not going to pay your rent on the 3rd. You about to buy a section. You about to get this gown. You know what I'm saying? You about to get this tux. You about to pop these bottles. You know what I'm saying? Just so you can say, hey, look at us bringing in the new year. Rent due on the 3rd and you short. Because you didn't turned up a little bit too much. You done swiped your card too much on New Year's Eve. And you facing eviction now. Read what you got, support, so we can get up out of here.
Come to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14 and verse 2.
Start at verse 1.
Come verse 1. Ye are the children of the Lord, your God. Ye shall not cut yourselves, nor make any baldness between your eyes for the dead. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God.
What does it mean to be holy?
Separate.
Separate. You know what I'm saying? The Lord has separated you from everyone. Keep reading.
Unto the Lord thy God. And the Lord hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself. Above all nations.
Equal to.
Above all nations that are.
So we supposed to be under him.
Above all nations that are upon the face of the earth.
But you want to keep the customs of the heathen. You want to do everything that everybody else do except for what the Lord has given to you. You have your new year. Guess what it's called? Passover. And it's celebrated when everything is supposed to be anew. That's what Abib means, or Abiyab in the Hebrew. It means green ear of corn. That means when everything is anew. Stop following after the rudiments of this world. Every time you do it, you're going to get hurt. You celebrate Halloween, you risk being poisoned by all this candy they putting out there, and they putting all types of drugs and all of this stuff. You celebrate Halloween, you inviting demonic spirits into your house. You are literally dressing up like a ghoul or a goblin to blend in with demons. That's the purpose of putting on a costume during Halloween. So the evil, so the dead, because the veil between, you know, this world and the next world is supposed to be thin at that time, and you put on a costume so you can look like one of something that's of the dead or a demon, so that they don't mess with you. But in actuality, what you're doing is you're inviting that spirit in you, and you're inviting that spirit into your house. When you celebrate Thanksgiving, you are literally celebrating the mass murder, you understand, of Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? It's a genocide of a whole tribe. That was the first one. And they were killing so much that they had to declare one Thanksgiving, because they would just go on war parties killing Native Americans. And after they killed a tribe or wiped out a party of Native Americans, they would throw a party and call it Thanksgiving. You understand? Christmas, you celebrating the Mithra god, you understand? And the Babylonian king, and the bulbs that's on the tree represents your people's head that was decapitated or lynched and hung on a tree for not following after the Babylonian god or after the Roman god, you understand, or after the Nordic god. And then here we are, their new year is celebrating Janus. You got to ask yourself, what is the reason and the purpose of why you do things? You get up every day because you got to provide for yourself. It has purpose. It has meaning. You go to work because you need to provide for yourself. It has purpose. It has meaning. You understand? You eat because you need to be nurtured, because it has purpose. It has meaning. Why are you celebrating the day? What is the purpose? What is the meaning? You can't just do things because, hey, it's something that my family has done year after year. So your family has been doing Dias dos Muertos since you were a child, the Day of the Dead. You don't nothing register in your mind that there's something wrong with honoring things that are dead? That's necromancy. That is death magic. And the Bible explicitly tells you not to dwell and do necromancy. In order to have a different result, you have to change your condition, and it starts by the renewing of your mind. All right. And with that, we'll say Amajun, which means to stand. Sar. We're going to turn and face the east. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer first in Hebrew, then in English. Repeat after me. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Quadash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwith-Ka, Thaba'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Baharatazah, Kowah, Hayah, Bashemayim, Nathananawa, Lacham, Call, Yawam, Wasalak Nawa, Kabawat Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabawat Yanawa, Wala'ah, Kabiya'aya Nawa, Banasaya 1, Abal, Hawashaya Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kayab, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha Allah, Wahatha Para, La'awalamium Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. So be it. Sar, turn and face the front. Give a courtesy salute to the brothers and to the sisters. Been of Israel. Body Shabbat. Baju. Ra. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua Brakatah. Yadabata. Sar, turn and face the sisters. Been of Israel. Body Shabbat. Baju. Ra. Yahweh Shema Atah Ba'ashim Yahushua. Yadamata. Dismiss.